wait for Instagram.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Hello, beautiful people. Give me 1 second while we stream over to Instagram as well. We have a special guest in the house. I am so excited. Hang tight. Let me just see if we're live everywhere. And it looks like we are. Yay! Well, hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for joining us. I am so excited to say that I have Lissa from RawFoodRomance here with us today, and we're going to talk about the bundle and some of the things that she has in it. And we have a lot of people watching in the chat. Everybody want to say hello? And yeah, please take a second and introduce, or, I know everybody usually knows who you are, but if you'd like to just take a quick minute in case there are new people to the bundle here watching.
Sure. Yeah. So my name is Lissa. Also, Melissa is my real name, but I go by Lissa, and I have RawFoodRomance on Instagram and YouTube and, all the social medias. I have been following a raw vegan diet for over 10 years now. I went raw in 2014 and shifted my entire life, like not just my health, but everything about my life changed after I became a raw vegan. So I've just been creating fun recipes and trying to inspire other people to add more raw vegan foods to their diet, regardless if you go all raw or you're just raw curious or you're trying to add more. I'm here to help you enjoy more raw food and make some fun stuff and go traveling and camping and, be able to do it raw, or even just vegan, right? Just like trying to choose healthier every day. So yeah, it's good to be here.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I love that. Raw curious. That's me. And yeah, so this is my first year in the bundle, and I'm super excited to be able to be a part of it. It's a great thing. I've purchased before. It's only $49. There's over 83 contributors, contributions that have been put into this bundle. You work so hard to make it such a wonderful thing. You're like the leader of the bundle, you and Chef AJ, and I couldn't be more proud to be a part of it. How many years have you been a part of creating and being a part of the bundle?
So we started the bundle, I think, in 2022 or 2023. I can't remember, with Chef AJ. But I've been building bundles since 2020, and I co-create the Ultimate Raw Vegan Bundle, which comes later this spring as well. I do that one with Chris Kendall, but I've been also part of bundles since around 2020 as well. So it's been about 5 years that I've been doing bundles with other people and other collaborations. And it's always such an awesome opportunity for people to get so much amazing content. So I'm really happy to be part of it and to be such an important part, because I co-organize it. So I do like website stuff, promo stuff. I try to organize as much as I possibly can, but I'm a mess behind the scenes, but it's all good. So
I can vouch and say you're amazing, and you're very organized, and I've learned so much through this experience, and a lot of it is because of the things that you teach. And so if you guys are interested in purchasing the bundle, maybe you've been kind of on the fence, please know you can click the link in my bio or in Lissa's bio. Where can they find the link on your platforms?
They can go to Instagram at RawFoodRomance, and the link is in my bio there, or they can check out my YouTube channel, Lissa's RawFoodRomance, and all of the most recent videos all have the bundle link in those videos. So that's a great way to find it too.
Great. Well, every Tuesday I go live at 2 p.m. Arizona time, because that's where I'm at. And earlier today I did that, and I went through, if you're watching from earlier, I went through all the details of how to get it, what it looks like, what it comes with, and all of that. So I do want to get into asking you some questions. You have like 8 different amazing things in the bundle. And one of them is the full day raw food meal prep for 2 people. And I am really excited about it. So as soon as I saw that, I went and got my chickpeas, my garbanzo beans, and I'm soaking them because I am getting ready to follow that plan, and I'm really excited. I just used regular garbanzo beans the dry ones that I bought at the store. Is that the right ones? Are these the right ones?
Yeah, you can use those. I would recommend soaking them in distilled vinegar for about 15 minutes and then rinsing that. Just
Okay.
because those ones that you just buy bulk in the bag, those are meant to be cooked, so they're not like tested for pathogens or anything like that.
Oh,
Sprouting seeds and sprouting like lentils, chickpeas, mung beans, that kind of thing, the ones that are meant for sprouting have been tested for pathogens, so they're safe to sprout with. I recommend a company called Food to Live, or you can get sproutable garbanzo beans from thesproutingcompany.com. They sell sproutable garbanzo beans or chickpeas as well. So those are better options. I mean, those ones
okay.
will work, but again, I would just do a vinegar soak for 15 minutes just to, help with any possible bacteria that could be there, because again, like I said, they're meant to be cooked, so you're
Yeah.
gonna have them safer. But yeah, you can do that. Go to the sproutingcompany.com or Food to Live. They have like a whole range on Amazon of chickpeas, garbanzo, lentils are a great one to sprout like that as
Awesome.
well.
Okay,
Hmm.
I'm gonna do what you just told me to do, and I do have sprouts from, I think, Sprout House or the Sprout People or something, but I don't have enough. So you're okay if I do it this time and I just do the vinegar rinse, and then I will worry about that. I want to say we do have a question in the chat. What was the reason Lissa went raw? Is it okay to ask? Of
Of
course.
course. So I went raw. I discovered raw in 2004, and I was really intrigued with it, and it really resonated. And I thought that it would probably be the best way for me to go. But over the next decade, I did other diets and I tried raw for a couple days and I'd fall off and whatever. I didn't like, I was never doing a low fat version. I was always doing a high fat version and not eating enough fruit and vegetables, right? So eventually in 2014, I was living in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So, very, very cold winters. Sometimes it goes to -40, lots of snow for like 7 or 8 months out of the year. But I was eating the worst that I ever ate. I was 34 years old. I had extreme joint pain. I had gut dysbiosis since I was, 19. I
Oh,
had candida overgrowth for like 15 years. So I had lots of dysbiosis, lots of gut pain. I have a family history of gut disease. So we've got like Crohn's disease and colon cancer in my family. So, that digestive stuff was really important. I had heart flutters in the middle of the night,
oh my
where
God.
it would like, I would wake up in the middle of the night with these heart flutters and I would feel like I was dying. I had severe cystic acne. I was 70 pounds overweight. I had really irregular menstrual cycles and they were really painful. I'd have only like a couple a year. Sometimes it'd be like 9 months. It was 3 to 9 months between my periods and they were really painful. So I also had like mood swings and irritability like crazy, brain fog. I also wasn't sleeping properly. And, just all of the stuff was building up. And finally, I was like, I need to go raw again for the millionth time. And, everyone around me is like, are you going to stick to it this time? But this time was different because this time I became vegan and I hadn't been vegan the whole other time. I was just raw because it made sense to me to eat raw food. But I wasn't vegan. So in 2014, I watched Cowspiracy, Earthlings, and Forks Over Knives, and I was vegan instantly. I was like, okay, I'm vegan. And then I chose raw because it made the most sense to me. And I just started to go raw. And I quickly learned that I needed to eat enough. And I finally tried the low fat version, which again, you need to eat a lot when you're doing low fat diet because you're eating lower calorie density foods. And I was able, and that salad looks gorgeous. I was able to maintain it and sustain it, and I felt great. And my cystic acne went away after a few months. My hormones balanced after about 7 or 8 months. My joint pain went away. My candida that I'd battled for 15 years, I did fasts and cleanses and herbal kits and you name it. It went away all on its own. I didn't have to do anything because I was feeding my own microbiome, and my microbiome balanced it out on all on its own. I didn't have to do anything but eat delicious abundance of raw food, right? So
Wow.
it took time. It took about 14 months to lose the 70 pounds that I lost originally. But I will never go back to eating how I was eating before. And I'd never done vegan. I was always, I would try to do healthier eating and with cheat days and moderation and all that stuff. And it just wasn't working for me. So, when I went raw in 2014 and never looked back.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, I understand. I've had that cystic acne, and it's very painful, and it lasts for a
Mhm.
long time. And I understand that. And I've tried through your 30-day meal thing. I've tried to do raw. I think I went for 6 weeks,
Hmm.
and I learned how to do your wraps. And you have a lot of really great stuff in the bundle this time. I know I just started to touch on the raw food meal prep for 2 people. And I know you have a lot of stuff in here, even a holiday one, but there's the tailgate one that I'm super curious about and people I think should know. And also a new thing, which is about meditation and affirmations.
Mhm.
And it makes sense because as much I think, and you tell me if I'm wrong, it's really important to understand the food when you're trying
Mhm.
to eat for health and quality of life. But there are other components that we need to address, and stress is one of them. And so I was super excited to see in the bundle, something like that from you. And I know that there's another person that put something like that in as well. What made
Mhm.
you decide to do that versus, the more common things that you share usually that I've seen are the raw cookbooks and the wraps and all of that?
Yeah, so I always try to have something new in a bundle. And I have, with my husband, we have a school community, SKOOL. So it's a school community where we have all the people who want to connect with each other. It's $47 a month to be part of that community. And that's where we do our live raw food classes. We do monthly challenges. I post every single day in there. And all the replays to all the past classes are all in there as well. And in that community, every month, like I said, we do a monthly challenge. And for the month of February, I wanted to do a meditation challenge, but I
Mhm.
also wanted to create the videos for it. So I decided that I was going to make a 30-day challenge, and I recorded 30 videos. They're about 25 to 35 minutes each. And in each video, there is a little breath work, there's a little visualization, and then there's 100 affirmations. So if you listen to each and every single one of them over 30 days, you say 3,000 positive affirmations with me over that time. And each video is a different topic. Like we've got one on overcoming procrastination. We have some on accepting your body at every stage. We have like all different kinds of topics when it comes to our mindset, because I believe the mindset is one of the most important things that we have to get right. And our belief systems prevent us from making a lot of changes because we believe it's hard. We believe it's challenging. We believe we don't have time. We believe we're not good enough. We believe we don't deserve it, or whatever it is, these core beliefs that we have. So I've made meditation videos in the past, and people have always said like, oh, I love your voice, it's so calming, you should make more, make more. So I made more, they were only 5 minutes long, and they're like, no, make them longer. So I had to make I had to make more, and I decided to do them a lot longer to have them be a little bit more substantial. And yeah, again, I did this because I really used a lot of affirmations when I first started raw. Every single day I would wake up and I would say to myself, today I'm a raw vegan, today I'm choosing
Mhm.
raw food. And it helped to reprogram who I wanted to be. and it became automatic. Like I would wake up in the morning and I wouldn't have to think about um the affirmation. It would just come naturally because I had said it to myself over and over and over again. So that really, really helped me to choose differently. And so I wanted to share that with everybody else. So, yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. I already started. I haven't got into the videos yet, but I was reading about it. And I know that, you're saying to make sure that you have a quiet space, and there's, talk about journaling, and there's different things to make you have a safe place to be
Mhm.
successful. And
Mhm.
I'm really excited to dive into that. And I'm super happy that it's in the bundle. And I want to thank you for that. What a great gift to give people and to give ourselves, right?
Mhm.
Because mindset, I think, that's a huge component, like you said.
Mhm.
Self-talk, I think, is something that, at least the way that I grew up, I mean, we tend to, you screwed up, you this, you that, whatever. And instead of just loving ourselves the way I think a lot of people support their friends or family or children, and don't be so
Mhm.
hard on yourself. You did a great job on your test, or whatever it is, right? But meanwhile, to ourselves, it's different. So
Mhm.
that's great. And
Yeah.
what about some of the other things like that tailgate? I don't have the correct name, but you're traveling and showing how you and Nate are successful camping and traveling and making your food in the back of the truck. Tell me a little about that.
Yeah, so this book is called Tales from the Tailgate, and it's raw on the road. So Nate and I love to camp and hike and go for road trips and explore. Mostly hiking and camping. Those are our top two favorite things to do. And so, in order to do so, we have to plan, we have to prepare, we have to pack, we have to get everything ready for our trips. And this could be anything from a resort stay. We have, we went to Mexico at an all-inclusive resort that was not raw or vegan, and we managed to stay raw the entire time. So we show kind of like what we did, what we asked for, what we ate there. We talk about how we take our wraps on airplanes, because you can take food on airplanes, take the sauce in the little 100 ml, the travel size bottles, just
Yes.
put a little sauce in there. They don't say anything. They let you in because it's under the limit, right, for liquids. So we take wraps on the airplanes and we pack specifically for our adventures. So when we go camping, we have our cooler, we have our rooftop tent, and we have everything that we need. Inside the Tales from the Tailgate ebook, my husband Nate has an hour and a half long video showing how he built our solar power generator. So we have a solar power generator. It's probably about 100 pounds. It's pretty heavy, and it lives in the back of our truck. It's connected to our the battery. I think it's the I can't remember, the alternator or whatever.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
not the car person here. But yeah, and then it's also connected to the solar panels that we have on the roof on top of our rooftop tent. So while we are driving, it charges the generator, and while we are just at camp, the sun charges the generator. So we always have a lot of power, and we have enough power to run all the lights. We have enough power to run, or like to charge our phones, to run our laptops, to run our cooler. We have an IceCo cooler. It's a 75-liter cooler that you can. It's two bins, and on one side you could have a freezer, and the other side can be a fridge, or you can have two fridges. And we fit all our food in there. It's massive, and it fits just in the back of our truck. We also have a bin, like a big Tupperware bin, where we have our cutting boards, our bowls, our knives, our other cutlery, little potato peelers for vegetables. We've got spices and anything that we possibly could need. Like if we're out running errands or whatever and we need to stop and make a salad, we have that bin available for us. We just stop at the grocery store, grab a bunch of stuff. We have a water port inside our truck that is spray by pressure. So you charge it with a USB, which we can charge from our solar power generator.
Wow.
And it's water pressure. So we can wash our dishes, we can wash our vegetables, we can rinse up and clean up after. So we have everything that we need. We can even make ice. We have a little ice maker and we tried it out, and we can make ice in the middle of the desert on, it's 115 degrees Fahrenheit. We
Oh
can
my
make
word.
ice. So we share all of that inside this ebook: how we plan, how we pack, how we prepare for our travels. We even have like sample days, like if we're going away for a weekend camping, what we would take, what we would make before, how we would pack everything. So it's a really detailed book. There's almost 300 pages in there. Plus, there's 100 recipes of things that we've made over the years camping and hiking and traveling. So there's some wrap recipes in there. The tostadas are in there. There's some burgers in there. There's even some freeze dryer recipes for the backpacking stuff. We make cold soaks. So we freeze dry ingredients and we combine them, the recipes there, like with the ingredients. And all you do is add water. So because it's freeze dried, it's super light, and you can take it
Right.
backpacking, and then you just add water, let it soak for a few hours, and you've got yourself a rehydrated meal that's raw that you can take backpacking with you. So you don't need a freeze dryer to make the recipes, but you would have to buy all the freeze dried ingredients. If you don't have a freeze dryer, that's an option as well. So I included links to some of the ingredients that you can buy on Amazon and some from other companies, like I believe it's Harmony Harvest. They have a
Oh
bunch of
yes.
freeze dried. Yeah, they have some freeze dried stuff, and you can combine all the ingredients to make these. Like we have a tomato coconut curry that you can make, and we've taken that hiking and backpacking and stuff. So it's really cool. We have the sections are split by like the fresh recipes, the dehydrator recipes, and the freeze dryer recipes. So you can mix and match or choose what works best for you and what's available to you. But that's a really great ebook for
Yeah.
people who want to stay healthy or eat raw while they're traveling.
I am like so there. I can't wait to dive into that. And that's just, we've just touched on two. There are so many amazing things in the bundle. I did want to tell you, kind of do this with you. So I made your wraps. I have, this is how I store them. And I want to tell you, I made a bunch of them. These are what is left over. This is the everything but the bagel wrap. I made this January 23rd. I did not freeze this.
Yeah, you don't need to freeze them. I know people think that they need to freeze them, but it's a dried food. So,
Yeah.
like it would be like putting crackers in your freezer. It's kind of pointless.
Yeah. And you know what? I've had it on 3 or 4 airplanes and I just didn't finish this one. Look at this. It's amazing. And I just thought, well, I wanted to show you, and kind of, I didn't know, if you had, how long you had let something sit in the refrigerator. It's been in backpacks, it's been at the hotels, it's been at the airport, and I had plenty of them and I ate so many of them. And I think this one is going to end up getting wrapped up and eaten today. But so, okay, well, I thought you needed to put them in the freezer. And now I'm finding out that's why they're lasting so long, because it's still really great. And I just find that too great. I've also done your corn tortillas. I know that's not in the bundle, but I did want to mention that. What is in the bundle is the burger book.
Actually, the in the Tales from the Tailgate ebook, I do have the recipe for the tostadas because we do take those camping.
Okay, you did just mention that.
Yeah.
That was really, really good. You just take, you have a recipe where you use raw organic corn and you make it, and it's wonderful. We dehydrated it, and I did it in the taco shell shape. I got those from you, and then I've also done it just like tortilla tostada style, and those are great. The burger book is in the bundle, and
Yes.
that one I'm also really interested and excited about. So do you want to just touch on that one a little bit?
Yeah, so in the burger book, we have 60 different burgers that you can make. So there's 144 recipes in there. 60 of them are the burger patties, and they're themed, right? So you've got Like the there's like a Hawaiian style burger in there. There's the garlic lovers burger. There's a chili cheeseburger, a nacho cheeseburger. And so there's 60 burgers, and each burger has like a topping and sauce suggestions. So we've got about, I think there's around 60 different sauces in there, or 40 sauces and like 20 toppings and 20 sides or something like that. There's a huge amount of recipes in there, so you can mix and match. You can choose a burger patty, choose a sauce or two, choose some toppings. Like there's some onion rings in there, there's the avocado fries, and then we've got some sides like the mac and cheese is in there. There's a wedge salad. So many options to make a really fun, delicious burger night for yourself. So I really recommend reading through the whole book and seeing which ones you want to make. And people always ask me, they're like, which one should I make first? And I'm like, they're all good. So I always just recommend going with what you intuitively want to try. So like I could, for example, say I love the garlic lovers burger, but somebody who's not into garlic might be like, oh, well, you know, if they try it, they might not like it because they don't like garlic.
Right.
So it really depends on everyone's individual tastes. So I recommend choosing the one that resonates most with you. And then in there, I also show how we make the lettuce bun, the iceberger lettuce bun. But there's also the portobello bun with the sesame seeds on top, and the apple rye bread to make like a
Oh
more
my
of a
gosh.
bread style burger.
Wow, that's incredible. And these are just a few things that are in the bundle. So if you're on the fence, if you have a question about the bundle or anything that Lissa has shared or myself, please put it in the chat, and we'd love to answer anything. Again, you can click on the links at either of our handles, and enjoy a great deal of information from so many wonderful contributors. So if somebody is like, I want to go raw, I've tried it, I'm not full enough, and I know you said you have to eat a lot of quantity. How time consuming is it to eat that much food and also to prep it? Like, what would you say to somebody that's kind of on the fence and to encourage them?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be intense, right? You know, obviously the burgers, let's rephrase that. It doesn't take a lot of time to make the stuff. It takes planning. So when somebody looks at a recipe and they're like, oh, I had to soak or bloom the rice for 72 hours. I have to dehydrate this for 12 or 16 hours. I have to soak my nuts 8 hours before, or I have to do this before, whatever. All of these things don't take a lot of time. Like soaking nuts takes 1 minute. The problem is we see 8 hours and we feel like it takes forever. So it's really about planning. So if you need your soaked cashews at dinner time, take the minute in the morning and soak your cashews. Because then at dinner time, it's ready. You just blend it up with whatever else you're blending it with, and you're good to go. So it's really interesting. And I've noticed this is that, also people will see like there's so many listing of ingredients in a recipe, and that can feel overwhelming for them. Just do one line at a time. Like just put the dates in the blender. That's all you have to do right now. Just put the dates in the blender, and then you go into the next line. Say 3 cloves of garlic. Okay, just focus on the garlic. You don't have to think of the entire recipe in that moment. Just think of one line at a time, and then before you know it, it's all ready. You just blend it and go, and you're good. So I also recommend sticking to easier things to make on busy days, or doing like the full day meal prep that Nate and I do. We have breakfast, lunch, and dinner for 2 people made in under an hour on most days. So we just get up from 7 till 8. We make all our food for the day, and we don't have to do anything else. Maybe we might have to put something in the dehydrator 2 hours before dinner that's already been marinating all day. So that's like what, 2 minutes out of our day, right, to put that in the dehydrator, but it's already prepared. So I do recommend, it's really important to planning, and planning is the key to success in anything in life. And if we don't plan, then we're just going to end up winging it. We're going to be like, oh, well, like I was supposed to soak my cashews 8 hours ago. And, if you don't have a plan, it's challenging. But if you do have a plan, you just do the steps, you have an alarm in your phone that says, 8 a.m., soak your cashews. It takes a minute. And then you've got those ready for the next day. Or if you've got to make the wraps for the next day, it takes 15 minutes to blend 2 wraps, which makes 4 meals if you're doing the 14 by 14 ones. Nate and I will split one of those wraps for 1 meal. So we get 4 meals out of one wrap recipe that only takes 15 minutes to make. And if we think of our future selves and we just get up and go in the kitchen and do the thing, take that 15 minutes that we would sit on the couch scrolling otherwise, take that 15 minutes and go make something for your future self, because your future self is going to thank you when you wake up tomorrow and you wake up and you're like, oh, I have wraps today for lunch. Great. And you're so grateful for your past self for doing something, even though they didn't want to at the time. Right. And when you're finished, you feel so good. You're like, I did that. I'm so glad that I did that. So yeah, if someone's starting out, just go slow, start out with 1 raw meal a day, work through the recipes, see what resonates. I always tell people to look for their fallback 5. This is 5 recipes, raw or vegan or whatever it is, that you can fall back on when you are stressed, tired, challenged, whatever that is. For myself, the French dressing is one of my fallback recipes. It's 5 dates, 2 cloves of garlic, the juice of 1 lemon, a little apple cider vinegar, a little smoked paprika, a little chipotle powder, and a cup of water. And I blend that up. Now I add like a tablespoon of chia seeds to it for omega-3s, but that's like a go-to because I always have dates. We always have lemons. We always have garlic. There's always those ingredients on hand. So if we ever need to, and we're like, I don't know what to make, or whatever, we just default to that. So having some default recipes to fall back on can be really helpful in those times where you're, having challenges. And like with the wraps, for example, I have the Everything But the Bagel wrap, which is in the Tales from the Tailgate Raw on the Road ebook. I have that recipe memorized. So even though we might want to make other wraps, like, the V8 wrap or whatever from our other ebooks, I don't know. I don't have those memorized. I could always go into the book, but we also don't always have those ingredients on hand. But we always have sweet potatoes, apples, onions, sweet onions, and dates. We always have, those are like the main 4 ingredients in there, along with some other things that keep it pliable. But we always have those on hand. So all I have to do is go in the kitchen and I don't have to think about it because it's up here. I know exactly the weights to use for each, for all of the ingredients. And I just go in there and make it. It takes 15 minutes and I'm done. So it's so much easier. And I'm going to Mexico with Chef AJ at the end of the month. And I'm making both of us tons of wraps. And, I can do 2 batches at once or 3 batches. Sometimes I'll do 3 at once. I weigh all the onions at the same time. Weigh all the apples at the same time. So, it saves on time because I'm not doing each one separately. I can weigh everything all at the same time. And I can get 6 wraps done in 45 minutes. It's so great. Like that's 12 meals that I got done, prepared in 45 minutes. And it's so nice to have those wraps to just take with you on the airplane, take traveling, have for school or work or busy days, or just because they're so delicious.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You just gave so much information, so much wonderful information out. And yeah, I love the whole, 5 fallback thing. There's a lot of people in the chat. We just have one. Let's see. Apple a Day says, and the planning eventually just becomes habit. I'm pretty much always rinsing, soaking, chopping something. A few minutes here and there throughout the day sets me up for yummy meals. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, we love Apple a Day, and
I know
and everybody
Apple a
else
Day is awesome. She's
great.
great,
and Mona is happy that you gave a good tip to know about halving the recipe. And we have a lot of people in the chat that are chatting amongst each other, and everybody seems to be enjoying the information that you're sharing. And any last questions from anyone before we sign off? I'll give you just a minute. But I would like
Yeah.
to ask you, Lissa, what is your favorite item to eat? Like, or it doesn't have to be a meal, but something. Well, yeah. What's your favorite? And then also, what's your favorite thing in the bundle?
Oh, goodness. Whew, there is so much in the bundle. It's really hard to choose. If I had to pick right off the top of my head, and this is not playing favorites at all, aside from our stuff, obviously there's, our stuff and Nate's new smoothie ebook that's in there, but default second place would be tied with Chris Kendall has his raw stews book, and Raw Chef Yin has her Korean barbecue in there too. Oh, and Nate gave me my list of because I have a list, so when I get asked this question, yeah, Raw Chef Yin, Kiki, Plentiful Kiki has her raw-ish ebooks in there. Daria Sinetra, she has a raw ebook in there as well. I'm really excited to check out the Dr. McDougall legacy stuff. There's some videos in there that were graciously contributed by the McDougall family. So those are in there as well. And my friend Angelica, she has her yin yoga course in there too. So I love yin yoga. It's one of my favorite styles of yoga. And Nate and I like to do it sometimes before bed. We'll do a 45-minute yin yoga session, and it really transformed my sleep when I was doing it every single day last year. I haven't gotten back to that because the bundle's taken up all my time, but doing the nightly yin yoga really helped me to fall asleep faster, because normally I take around 25 to 30 minutes to fall asleep because my brain is way too active. But when I would do the yoga, it was like those 45 minutes that I was doing the yoga, that's when my mind was calming down. So then when I laid down to go to sleep, it was like 5 minutes and I'd be out. So it really helped with calming my mind of all the chatter that goes around in there.
Yeah, those are great things that you shared of your favorites, and we appreciate hearing that. And the yin yoga is a relaxation, so it's not like
Yes.
getting crazy, and so that
Yeah.
makes sense that it helps you go to bed. Well, I just want to say thank you so very much for spending time with me and with all of our viewers to talk about the bundle, to share about Raw and your experience. Please feel free to click on the link or go to Lissa's page and click on the link there. Get the bundle. You have until March 10th. That's it. And then it's gone. And you don't want to be on March 11th waking up saying, wait, I missed it. So do it now. And we promise you, you will be happy that you did it, because there's so much great stuff in there. So I just want to say to everyone, don't forget to eat your greens and give plants a chance. Thank you, Lissa, and thank you, everyone.
Thank
Have
you.
a good one. We'll see you next time.
Yes, thank you.